How you say your last name? I was reading
John,
them.
good to see
I
you.
was reading the past.
Glad to see you.
minutes.
Mr. Bell, hello.
Hi.
Mr. Bell,
John Berube.
John,
Okay.
what's your name?
Yolanda Avery, we met this summer.
Okay.
Captain, my captain.
Is that everybody here?
All right, we're ready to go. Let's call for a roll call, please.
Vice Chair LaBeige,
Here.
Commissioner Avery,
Here?
Commissioner Bell,
Here.
Commissioner Berube,
Here.
Commissioner Crawford is absent, Commissioner Goodness,
Here.
Commissioner Macon,
Here.
Commissioner Provo,
Here.
Commissioner Siggy is absent, and Commissioner Templeton.
Here.
Thank you.
All right, our first order of business is approval of the minutes. Everybody was mailed the minutes, I think, a couple of weeks ago. So if everyone has had time to review those, I'd entertain a motion or a discussion over any corrections that we need to make.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right, we have approval of the minutes. And we'll move into the regular meeting and ask for staff presentation for PZ 2021-309, request for certificate of appropriateness to construct an accessory building at 2535 Louisiana Street.
Mr. Esther is seeking permission on behalf of Fred Allen to construct an accessory structure in the rear yard of the property. This structure will be visible from the street right-of-way. It will be made of wood with vertical panels. The roof pitch will be 4/12. Staff recommends approval of the request with the following conditions: that they must paint the accessory structure to match the main structure. So this is the subject property. If you drive a little bit down the road going this way, you will see this carport, and the shed is visible or will be visible through here. They intend to use it for personal storage and yard material. And the applicant is here, or Mr. Allen, the homeowner, is here.
Okay. Is there any questions for staff? Do you have any questions for staff? If not, Mr. Allen, would you like to come forward, please? And please just state your name and your address for our record.
Sure. My name is Fred Allen, and I live at 2535 Louisiana Street here in Beaumont.
Why do you want to tell us a little bit about what you're trying to do?
Yeah, we want to, my wife and I, Sabina and Lamar, we did have a shed. It was on the other side of the house until Hurricane Laura came along and decided that we needed a new one. So unfortunately, it was not tied down. It had been there for a while. My wife has lived there for 11 years. I've been there for 3. We're newlyweds. The new one is it's going to be a little more convenient. It's going to have tie downs so that it doesn't go any place. It's going to be 10 by 12 instead of the old 8 by 10, and it will match the decor of the house. It'll have white trim as the house that we have now, and the color of it is called Ghost Winter, which is a very slight light green. And I have a picture of it. If you want me to, I'll be glad to pass it around. If anyone wants to see the building, it's Tough Shed. It's sold by Home Depot. They will put it up, install it, so I don't have to do anything, and paint it.
Great, yes, sir, we have it in our packet.
Oh, okay, good. And if there are any questions, I'd be glad to answer.
Any questions for Mr. Allen? All right, Mr. Allen, that was the only requirement that the staff had, was that you paint it the same color as the house, so it sounds like that's.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm going to do, yes.
Well, great, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
All right, right, I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we approve, PZ 2021-309.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right, it passes. Thank you, Mr. Allen. Good luck with your shed. All right, we'll move on to our next file, which is PZ 2021-336, request for certificate of appropriateness to install a fence in the front yard of 2220 Angelina Street.
Pamela Murphy requests permission to keep her chain link fence in place on the property located at 2202 Angelina. This fence was installed without the benefit of a CA. It stands 6 feet in height and is located in the front yard of the property. Section 28.03.18G3F of the Historic Cultural Landmark Preservation Overlay District states wrought iron and metal fences must be compatible with the style and period of the main building. Chain link, barbed wire, and razor wire fences are permitted only in the backyards and must not be visible from any street. With having stated this, staff recommends denial of the request. This is the subject property. And I went a little bit further down the road just so you can see the full fence.
Does that fence return back to the house, or does it keep going to the back of the property line?
I believe it goes to right about here and cuts across, but I do have the property owners here so they can answer that.
When was it installed?
Want to say that this came across about a month and a half ago. As far as the installation date, I'm unsure, but I can look into that, or they may know.
Sure, okay, thank you.
All right, any other questions for staff? All right, is Miss Murphy here? Miss Murphy? You just come forward and state your name and your address for our record, please.
My name is Pamela Murphy. I live at 2202 Angelina.
All righty, Miss Murphy, you wanna explain to us?
Well, the reason we put it up is because I am disabled. I have arthritis in both knees, and I have COPD, and it's just easier for me to tend to my dogs with this. And that's why I put it up.
All right, you unaware of the,
Sir, this property has been in our family since it was built. And I'm not understanding how y'all can tell me what I can do with my property. I don't get it. I don't understand.
What year was the fence installed, ma'am?
This year, about 2 months ago.
Oh,
But that property has been in our family since 1940 when it was built. And y'all are saying that you can't be visible from the street. I understand that, but the backyard has a fence and it is visible from the street. I live on a corner.
Did you think about a wrought iron fence or any
I
other
can't
kind of?
afford that, ma'am. I'm disabled. I'm on a fixed income. It's not hurting anyone. It's not blocking the street from when you get to the corner.
I feel for you and understand where you're coming from, but we have regulations.
I understand that.
And if we allow this, then the next neighbor can say the same thing. Well,
Okay,
you
well,
allowed her.
there are chain link fences visible from the street further down the road, like 2 blocks. And y'all let them keep them.
Probably because they were there originally.
No, originally they were not. If you go back and you look, when that house was built down there, it was not there, sir. And I don't need to be, I don't
No,
want
that's
to be
fine.
ugly or anything.
That's fine, you're all right.
I don't get it.
well, Miss Murphy, you live in a historic overlay district.
And if I could move,
for
I
the
would.
city. And there are regulations that, for the city, for for that district.
Uh-huh.
And
Technically,
there
if
are
you
people
go
that don't appreciate that chain link fence being in the front yard on their street.
okay, well, what I don't appreciate is Tent City being 3 blocks from me with a chained in little fence for their dogs. And porta potties 3 blocks from my house. I don't appreciate that. What are y'all doing about that? That's in the Oaks Historic District.
We only have a say-so over new things that happen after.
That was
the
new. That Tent
regulations
City has
came
not
out.
always been there, sir. And I'm if y'all make your decision, that's all I can say.
All right, any other questions?
I had a question. She said that her backyard was fenced also. But
Yes.
she can't get to the backyard.
I
I
don't
missed that.
understand it.
Can you get to the backyard? Do you have a door from the back of your house into the backyard for your dogs? You don't?
The whole backyard is not fenced in. It's only fenced in on the street side.
You couldn't move the fence from the front to the back and the same, and fence that in for your
I
animals?
can't, that fence that's in the front will not go all the way around the backyard.
But couldn't you take what you've got and put it in the backyard and fence in that area? It'd be the same footage, but it'd just be in the backyard.
Babe, if I'm gonna do just a little piece in the backyard, why wouldn't I fence the whole thing in?
I don't know, I'm just.
I don't have the money to do that.
Yes, ma'am, that's the reason I was thinking, and I'm not trying to be argumentative, I'm just thinking if you
I'm
could just.
not either. I don't get it, how you can tell me what I can do with my property.
I'd like to explain that.
All right, any other questions? All right, I will ask for a motion.
I make a motion that we deny file PZ 2021-336.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
You know, this is a hard one because she is 100% correct. There is a tent city very close to our house, to where they got 10 to 12 tents in the fenced-in area.
Homeless
I-
people?
Yes, ma'am.
Where's this located?
Angelina.
I can't give you the exact address, but there's
It's on
two.
the corner of Laurel and Sixth in the Oaks Historic District.
Yes, it is, ma'am. I can testify that I've seen it myself.
And I don't get it. I mean, how can that be there?
Well,
Ma'am,
again, we represent the historical district, and trying to keep with the tradition
I
of
understand
the
that.
historical
Then
district.
how is there a brand new brick house on the corner of Sixth and of Angelina and Guffey? That's not 1940 colonial.
excuse me,
Yeah.
ma'am. You're out of order. We have you had your opportunity to speak, and we're in the middle of a vote. So,
And again, with a heavy heart, I fully understand that, but we have to deal with what's before us.
Yeah.
And the discussion has been discussed.
all right, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? All right, the motion is denied.
How long do we have to take it there?
I can get with you after the meeting and we can come up with an appropriate amount of time that works for you guys.
All right.
Maybe somebody should look into the tents that are being.
I will.
Well, we've got inspection that's here.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. It is there.
Yeah, she's right.
The
But
one
we-
at Laurel and
6.
6, can we do,
I actually asked them, when the guys were out there cutting the grass, when I saw them the other day, they feel as though that they've been taking care of the property, that they have a right to be there. I've asked them to move, I've asked them to leave. But my next step was to get Beaumont PD involved.
yeah.
But I am on it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, we know that there's steps that you have to go through.
Wow. It's not a popularity contest, that's for sure up here.
Well, like I said, we got
Gotta do
business
the
to take
right
care
thing.
of. We
Gotta do
can't
the right thing.
Well,
pick and choose who we're gonna address. Again.
Yeah.
we've been very specific for
Yes, sir.
a long time
Yeah.
about fences and just not gonna allow people to put chain link fences in their front yards, or we
Yeah.
have them everywhere. And the people with real nice houses that are in that neighborhood
Yeah.
would have people popping up the side of their house, and it ruins the property values.
Don, does this same rule apply to like Dallin West, because people out there have fences in their front yard, it looks so
Dallin
ugly.
West is not in this
No, I
historical
understand that, I
overlay.
understand, but I just wondered if that was the case, because you don't see very many fenced-in front yards with the cyclone fences. I saw one, I was listing a house on Chatwood, and it's on the corner of Chatwood and, Westgate, and it looks, you saw that, it looks so.
Oh,
Un-
yes, terrible.
Unfortunately, there is no like overlay district that prohibits them from that or anything in the ordinance outside of, Oaks Historic District. Now the only thing is that it can't obstruct sight. So like if they're turning a corner, the fence has to be so low or so opaque, that, you can see oncoming traffic.
I got them in Willow Creek, parking in the yard, parking on,
That's her.
put gravel down over the grass and park in the yard. Okay, we're gonna move on to our next file, PZ 2021-355. It's a request for certificate of appropriateness to replace all the trim of the house, windows, doors, railings, columns, and fascia boards at 2280 Hazel Avenue.
Yes. Ms. Dixon requests permission to replace all trimming, including doors, windows, railings, columns, and fascia boards, to keep as natural sealed wood for the property located at 22 Hazel. The replacement of the wood will match the existing house, with the exception of the paint. Ms. Dixon has chosen an approved body color of white for the house already. This home was built in 1925. It seemed that most houses were painted during that era, unless it was a log cabin style. With having stated this, staff recommends approval of the request with the following condition: that the trim must be painted a color accepted by the HLC or an accepted color approved by staff from the America Heritage Exterior Colors brochure. So this is the subject property. And this, body will be all white. What she's wanting is, railings, trim, all of that to be natural wood. The color of the wood that she would like is this darker color right here.
But she is saying replacement of the trim on the house.
Yes.
Trim on the house is historical. So is she saying she's gonna put the same profiles?
Yes. I realize sorry, I left that out, but yes, it's going to match exactly what's existing currently, just updated trim, updated wood. And then she also wanted to request if she could keep that wood as the natural color, which would be this darker color right here.
That's expensive wood. That wood right there is expensive.
If someone wants to know what the approved colors are, where do we tell them to go?
Second floor, I have a whole pamphlet.
But there's not an online,
There is.
Yeah.
there
is,
is
yeah.
online? Okay,
You go to
Sherwin-Williams.
Historical Colors.
okay.
I think it's on the Oaks website now too.
Is it? Okay.
And she's not here today, so that's the only reason I put that condition of painting accepted by the HLC, is if she were here and she would vouch for the color that she wanted, but she's not, so have to be the approved palette, or she may have to come back, unless you guys like the natural sealed wood, which is really what she wants.
Like I said, this is, color of this wood is, it's like a red oak or a red cedar. And if she's gonna use white pine, she's still gonna have to stain it to get it to this color.
And it ain't gonna stain like that.
No. So, I can't, unless she agrees to the high dollar wood, you know, the cedar or the red oak or something like that to get this color, then I'm gonna have to say no. Because just white, yellow pine is not gonna, it's not the same look as what you're gonna get out of this.
Has she looked at the swatch already, so she knows, or is this her version of the swatch?
She's been offered the color palette before, but she wanted to go with her own wood color, which is
Okay.
what brings her here.
Okay.
I mean, there is an oil, a thick oil stain that looks like paint that goes on.
Right,
and
and if
part
you're
of
gonna
the
do that-
striation of putting the paint on is makes it look like it's wood, but it's not transparent. It's an opaque kind of
Right.
stain. I don't really have a problem with a white and brown color palette, but I'm afraid like you that the wood that's gonna be put up there is the cheapest thing you can get your hands on, and pine does not stain well because of the sapwood in it, so.
I think we can approve this with number one, with the amendment there.
Yeah,
We can approve the whole project, include number one. She has to come before us with the color.
Will she need to come back to us, or can she go through you?
That's,
Unless she chooses a color that's on that palette that we have upstairs, then she may have to come back if she doesn't want to do that. If she chooses something from there though, then we can approve over the counter, no problem.
Okay.
I think
Unless
it's
there's
a-
something specific
yeah.
that you guys tell me.
I think it's a situation that if we would vote for the painted deal and she still wants to insist on the stain, then she's gonna need to get a piece of wood and she's gonna need to put the stain on it. She's gonna need to bring it to us so we can see what it looks like.
Okay.
So, any other discussion? If not, I'll consider a motion.
I make a motion, we approve PZ 2021-355 with the staff recommendation to approve the request with the following conditions.
All right,
Second.
we have a second, motion and a second. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? All right, it is approved as noted. All right, we'll move to our next file, which is PZ 2021-361, request for certificate of appropriateness for new construction of townhomes at 325 North 7th Street.
Mr.
You may
Juber,
know this one from the beautiful old house that finally got torn down that was on that corner.
Mr. Jubert is seeking permission to construct new townhomes on the properties at the corner of Liberty Avenue and North 7th Street. Those four properties will be a common development to be known as 325 North 7th. There will be 10 units on the property. The construction methods show that it will be on a slab foundation with wood framing. The siding profile will be 1x6 and made of hardy plank. The roof will have a 7/12 pitch, with each unit having a front gable, and will be made of a dark gray architectural, will be made with dark gray architectural shingles. The orientation of the townhomes will have the front facing North 7th Street, and the side of the townhomes and parking lot will face Liberty Avenue. Staff recommends approval with the following conditions. Storm shutters must be located on all windows and must be architecturally appropriate. All windows must be 6/1 in appearance. Roof overhang minimum shall be 12 inches. The door will be of craftsman style, and the color will be chosen from America's Heritage Color Exterior Colors brochure. The columns of the front porch shall be a craftsman style tapered column. So this is the view from North 7th Street. Right now it's just a vacant piece of property. This is the view from Liberty Avenue. I believe he's wanting to use this approach. We'll probably, pave it a little bit more once he gets permits, as long as he's allowed. This is the site plan. So Liberty Avenue is on this side. North 7th is on this side. So I put red X's here because you can't in the historic district have parking before buildings. So he's going to have to get rid of 4 parking spaces, which he's aware of. We talked about it in the pre-development meeting that he had with staff. So as you can see, there's 10 units total. Also, there will be landscaping requirements and whatnot just out of commercial, building or builds. There is residential property back here, so there will have to be an 8-foot wood fence or masonry wall, so it'll screen the residences. This is the elevation drawing. So you can see each of them have the front gables here. He was not able to be here today, but I told him I'd try to take good notes and pass along whatever you guys say.
Can you talk about the parking one more time?
Mhm.
Where that is, please?
Yes. So this is going to be North 7th. So those on this next one, this part
Okay,
is going to be facing North 7th.
okay,
And then on Liberty, they'll be seeing this side.
okay.
And also the parking that'll be in between each of the buildings right here.
Okay.
It looks like these are budding. What's the easement on 7th Street to the house? How close is the house?
Like
to
how
the-
far this needs to be?
Yeah,
It'll have to be 25 feet.
so it's 25 feet from the sidewalk to the property.
Yes,
to the house.
because in the next meeting, so he has a couple meetings that he has a process that he has to go through. So it'll be y'all first to discuss, elevation, what it looks like, make sure that everything is sound that way. And then it has to go before the planning commission because in that zoning, they have to get permission to build townhomes there. And also he's going to replat the land where the front is going to be off of North 7th Street and the side is going to become Liberty. Right now, all of the land or all the pieces of land are platted to Liberty Street.
What's the size of each of the townhome square footage, do you know?
No, but I could find out real quick.
Are they 2 bedrooms?
It looks like
Looks
it's
like
gonna
2
be
bedroom, 1
Yeah.
bath.
Approximately
Bigger.
4,204 square feet of living area.
4,000?
4,000?
That seems large.
No, that ain't no
Really big.
That's
I had magnifying, you can see the dimensions from there.
I wanna move in and that's
They're
4,000
34 by 25 roughly,
Okay.
size, 34 by 25.
I got a calculator. One moment.
They all look like 2 bedroom, 1 bath.
That sounds about right. Yeah. 807, yeah, 875.
You may lose 2 more parking places, and that's those number 16s, because he doesn't have any back out. He doesn't have any,
Way to turn around.
don't have any way to turn around on those last 2 spaces, but they'll pick that up.
Ooh.
Yeah, the engineering department is part of that review during the planning commission meeting. So they have a bunch of conditions that he will also have to abide by.
Are these places gonna be for sale or for lease?
For lease.
And has he built apartments or townhouses before?
I'm not sure if he's built townhomes before, but I do know that he is a builder for like residential single-family homes and whatnot.
Okay.
All right, any other discussion?
Can we go back to the elevation drawing?
Yes.
And explain to me one more time, you said that you're gonna require, your recommendation was to require shutters, and the windows would be 6/1, is that what you said?
Yes. And then also, there's gonna be columns, so you can see on the side view, there's gonna be columns there. Those need to be, craftsman style tapered.
And, she's got a bigger picture.
You want me to
there.
pass this, around?
Yeah, that's fine. I kinda anticipated being here, and we've had such bad luck with people making the proportions correctly on craftsman style homes, that this one was on Wayfair, so, you can go online and buy these. So that's the one I gave her a picture of, and pass that down, to show people that's what we're talking about. You can't use a traditional one, because traditional ones have real wide bases, and his porch just isn't big enough for that. There's better pictures.
So will there be any buildup of the foundation, or is it gonna be built level?
Right now, it looks like from the, drawings that he submitted that it's just gonna be level. So they have to put it like to, at least to the crest of the road. That's just a building codes standard. Or build it as high as the crest of the road.
Well, it also has to be above the flood,
Yeah.
it has to be above the FEMA elevation, so he's gotta get a survey done, and the foundation has to be above that FEMA elevation. Or he won't be able to get insurance on the building.
I guess I was just thinking of it from the historical, very few things are built.
Right, craftsman style
Right.
homes are usually built on piers, exactly. But remember also, when you're looking at the front of this, and it's the corner of Liberty and Seventh Street, across the street over there is that real modern apartment complex, the one we've had a problem with, the person with the paint color
Oh,
on.
the paint,
Yeah.
that was
Okay,
bad.
so this is much better than
Yeah.
that is over there,
And they're gonna be close to Luke's. Walking distance to Luke's.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
staggering
That's
distance.
right.
Daggum, this is home.
Yeah.
So the units on the inside of the parking lot, this is gonna be facing the parking lot?
The elevation that you see at the top faces Seventh Street, and it faces the neighbors, or it'll face a wooden fence on the other side.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
So, they're designed to park on the backside.
In the backside and go in the back
and then
door.
Your visitors come around the front, or probably everybody in the back door anyway, so.
I would rather see an L on that corner and then everybody park behind the L. I think that would look better. Putting an L, 11th and Laurel, and then you come in on the side and come pull in the back of it. So then it fills up that whole block and not.
This is kinda like those, houses we've been continuing to look at that were, the FEMA houses. Remember?
Yep.
We've had a bunch of those come through here too, so at least we've been able to affect the appearance of them.
Maybe we should look and see if he can get those 10 units in an L shape on Liberty and 7th, and then you'd have more parking around the other side.
I'm sure it's probably gone through traffic already.
Well, remember that when he starts changing that, it changes his front yard and side yard setbacks. And he's got it right now where he's losing the least amount of land with, considering the setbacks, so.
Okay.
All right, any other questions? If not, I'll ask for a motion.
I make a motion, we approve file PZ 021-361,
With,
2021.
with planning.
Oh, yes, with the 5 recommendations by staff.
I second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. It is approved.
Alrighty.
I'm sorry, who seconded that?
Ms. Bell. All All right, we've got a historic district code enforcement report.
Yes, so I wanted to introduce to you guys, this is our new code enforcement inspector out in the historic district, Shay Bates. She started about 7 weeks ago, and she has done fantastic work already within the district. And she's great to work with, you know, in an office setting as well. I think you guys will really like her, and she's very receptive, responsive, and everything like that. So if you could read the report for us, Shay?
Hi guys, I'm Shay.
Glad to meet you. You're gonna know me real well soon.
Nice to meet you guys. And first, there were 17 completed affidavits, 3 cases closed, 53 court appearances, 17 new file charges, 4 court re-inspections, 13 CA certificate of appropriateness, 2 new general nuisance violations, 9 general nuisance re-inspections, 12 historic violations, 5 historic re-inspections. I posted 2 stop work orders, 3 JMV re-inspections, tagged 2 vehicles, JMVs, 4 JMV 48-hour re-inspections, 4 new litter violations, 19 litter re-inspections,
She's been busy.
Busy, I like her.
5 new weed violations, 23 weed re-inspections, 25 weed city compliance, 2 owner compliance weeds, and 2 new zoning violations.
Go get 'em.
You've been busy, way to go.
Well, we appreciate what you do for us, and thanks for keeping your eyes open and helping us. You'll be helping us a lot over time, helping us identify things and helping us understand what the actual conditions are at a lot of these files. So it's great to have you on board. Look forward to working with you. Thank you. Any other business?
Somebody needs to change that clock there.
If not, we'll stand adjourned.
Change the clock.
Change the clock.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Did everybody get a good Oh, no, you've had yours. This is all tabbed up.